What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Sunday, April 27th. Um, I'm actually tired, dog tired, man. I got in early this morning from out of town, coming from Salt Lake City. Um, so I'm tired, but I was still led to make this video, you know. So forgive my energy, you know. Um, just not as enthusiastic as I normally am. You gotta forgive me, but I'm still led to make this video. Um, I just want to talk about transformation and relationships. Um, a download that I had received from the divine, from the Most High. Um, I had just been in this season. I had been in this season of basically just removed from everything, removed from all the people I used to associate with. I had been removed um, from this young lady I used to deal with, and I was wondering why all of this stuff was happening to me. Is what I was thinking. It was happening to me and not for me. You understand? And the more and more I started to meditate and pray on it, I started to understand that it wasn't happening to me, that it was happening for me. That the work that was being done on me required me to be removed from the situation. And a lot of times we can't see what's going on. We can't see the work that's being done on us because we don't have the external tangible thing to measure the growth. You know what I mean? Like a paycheck or a car or where you stay, your house. All of this is like a yardstick to measure your success. You understand? And a lot of times when you talking with God, when you dealing with the spiritual and the divine, man, you're not gonna get a yardstick like a car or a paycheck to measure your growth. Now, I'm not saying you're not gonna be blessed, but sometimes when you waiting or you think you waiting, you really growing. You really going through it. The spirit really changing you while you in your waiting period, but you don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And you feel like, man, it's taking too long. I want this, I need this job. It might even be past you once. You might need this job. You might need to earn this income. You might need transportation and so forth. But it's not coming. You're trying to figure out why is it taking so long? And what's happening is you being cultivated. When something is delayed, it don't mean it's denied. You understand? And it's to get you ready for your blessing. Because a lot of times, if you were alcoholic and you hit $1 million on the lottery or some shit, right? You gonna drink that money up. You gonna misuse that money. You might end up in jail. You get too much money before you ready for it. So what's happening is God set you down and cleaned you up. You understand what I'm saying? So you can receive the blessing. So you can be a good steward of what he finna put on you. You know what I mean? So when we think it's taking too long or we can't see it, what we don't understand is the work that's going on behind the scenes, the work that's going on in here, the work that's going on in here. You understand? Because all of that is changing, but you don't know it. One day you're going to wake up and you just going to be thinking different. You're going to feel different. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be a different creature, a different animal. You understand? And then you're gonna be ready for your blessing. So a lot of times when it take a long time, man, that's what's going on. You know, he preparing you for your season. You understand what I mean? And I want to touch on this. I want to talk about blessing. I know I said I was going to hit on the relationship, but I want to talk about purpose. I want to touch on purpose. Let me use a flower for an example. A flower can be for bees to pollinate. A flower could be a gesture or a symbol to give to your loved one on Valentine's. A flower could be food for deer or any other creature in the forest or the woods or whatever. You understand? That flower can have many different purposes, right? But that purpose for that flower is determined by the environment that flower is in. You understand what I'm saying? But first, that flower had to blossom and bud. That flower had to come from a seed and grow and blossom. And based on where that flower is located, it determines that flower's purpose. So that flower in your backyard might just be a purpose of pollination for the bees or something. You understand? But that same flower, if it's grown in the greenhouse, you know what I'm saying, at a nursery or something, that same flower might be sent off as a gift or a gesture to a loved one. That's that flower's purpose. And it's determined by the environment. So I'm going to tell you right now, when you are going through your season, first you have to gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Once you gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and you become a full-budded flower, this is just an analogy. You look at your environment. You look at what's going on. Your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding will identify your purpose. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I live in Atlanta. I live in Georgia. My purpose here, after I gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, is different if I would have lived in the Middle East. Do you understand what I'm saying? My purpose after I gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is determined by my environment. What's going on? What do I see? What's happening around me? You understand what I'm saying? So if you're trying to figure out your purpose, first you need to gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You understand what I'm saying? You need to become that flower or that diamond. And that pressure is just cultivating you to become that diamond. You understand? I'm going to say this right now since we're talking about flowers. When people try to put dirt on you or people try to bury you, don't worry about it. That's just God's way of providing you with the soil you need so you can grow. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just seek knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And once you have that, that's going to tell you how you need to move. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding always going to tell you how you need to move. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there, man. We already at about 9 minutes. I was going to touch on relationships and connection, but, you know, I made that another video. I don't want to get too long in these, but I hope this finds you in peace and love and divine protection. I'm out.